Day one of the Scale Your E-commerce Online Business Challenge. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, one more step in the background here, then we will be live. Come on, you can do it. It's almost there.
I think it says we're live here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we just haven't
seen.
But we're live.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't help us very much.
Well, I got a notification on here, so let's
Okay.
just go onto Facebook and see what's going on.
Okay. We are going to be live and start our, oh my gosh, this is awesome. We're live. Okay, awesome. All right. Welcome to day one of the Facebook live Q&A. Are we frozen though? I don't think we're on. I don't think we're on. We're stuck.
Nope.
Oh, no, we're good. Okay.
Yeah, we're okay.
All right.
Just keep talking.
We're going to be on. Okay, Elke and Jen are here. The two of us are in the background somewhere. The two of us are here to start day one of Scale Your E-commerce Online Business. Thank you so much for joining us. We are, if you are not familiar with Team Clarke, we have a dedicated staff that helps you with your comments in the back when we're on live and we can't see the comments right away. Say hello. Melanie says, I can see you. Awesome. You could definitely see me perplexed as to whether or not we're on or not. That's always a funny thing. Definitely. We are now going to be live and go through the day one Scale Your E-commerce Online Challenge, Online Business Challenge. We are so excited. This is day one of 5. We are going all week, each weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be here live. We had to actually tear ourselves away from the outside today, though. It's our first day that's really beautiful and spring-like. Excuse me. And so we took advantage of that. In fact, I'm still glowing. I'm still a bit warm because it was actually so warm, which is, I'm happy with that. I love the warmth. And so before we get started, I just want to say, anyone who's in the chat, say hello, say where you're from. We are here to answer your questions while we're doing the challenge and all the slideshow stuff that I have for you. We are here to talk about scaling your Zazzle business. So while we're sort of waiting for a few more people to join, because for some reason there's not too many on, and we had over 200 registered, 250 to be exact, so they've got to be here somewhere. And so we are going to be talking about scaling all week. What does that mean? Well, first you have to start your business, right? That's what we talked about in last week's challenge. If you have yet to see that as a replay, go for it. They're valuable, golden sessions where you can learn so much, transform your business from starting and then going, now what? What do I do next? And excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. And so we're answering that question by staying with you for another week and saying, now you know what to do to scale. So you started your store by creating an account, creating a store, figuring out the niche that you wanted to sell in, creating your first product, and then now you go, what do I need to do next? There's a ton of stuff that happens on Zazzle. What is going on? How do I approach this first? Where do I start? What should I do? Here are the two of us as Zazzle experts to tell you exactly that. And sure, you can keep working with the start your Zazzle business or your online e-commerce business steps. But at one point you're going to go, I want to, for all the effort that I'm doing, I want to make money doing this. And unless you want to do it for a hobby, which is perfect, then you can do that. But if you want us to scale this, which means grow at a relatively fast rate, then you've got to put some more stuff into place to make sure that your store is functioning adequately for your customer to get those purchase, like those products, and you have that brand to make sure that they trust you when they come to buy. And that's why we are starting with brand today. We're going to do bulletproof branding. And we are here to take you through that journey of what that means and how you can be part of that and do that branding. So every day of this week, there will be something that you have to do as homework, and you will be transforming your business as we move through all the training. Okay, so you're ready to go in the background with comments. Jen's just making sure that a lot more people know that we're live, and because you don't want to miss this valuable training. Cassie is here, welcome. Jane is here. I see you live with 9 viewers. What does that mean? I see. Yes, exactly. We need more people on. Tell your friends, have them come into the whole thing. This is valuable training. We need more on, definitely. Okay, so let's get started with the screen share. Oh, I have to wait. I'm sorry, I have to do something in the background so that it will show the screen that I want to have shown. Give me a second here. Okay, that's better. Okay, sharing the screen. And we're going to go to full screen. Awesome. When that loads, we can start. Okay, day 1 of the challenge, which is scale your Zazzle on, or scale your e-commerce online business. And we're specifically talking today about Zazzle. And the whole week, we are going to talk about the 3 things that you can do to start scaling your e-commerce business fast. Today, we're going to be talking about bulletproof branding. And of course, it's with Jen and I. And who are we? Well, we are, oh, and I didn't even go into that this time. We have to just talk without a slide. Okay, so if you don't know who we are, we have been on this platform called Zazzle for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. What we do is we license our designs to Zazzle. Zazzle sells the product and gives us a royalty. And the royalty is something that we set actually as a percentage. And we have this really great working relationship with Zazzle, even though we've never talked to the people. Actually, I've been to the Zazzle place in Redwood, California, and I've met some of the staff, but I don't work for Zazzle. I use Zazzle as a platform to run my own e-commerce online business, and so does Jen. And that's what we're here to talk to you about. All in through these challenges, we have tried to explain that Zazzle is such a great platform to use. You can maybe have seen Shopify or Amazon or Etsy or Redbubble, Society6, Fine Art America. I can go on and on and on. Some of these things that I mentioned, well, the ones that I mentioned are still in operation. There's others that we've had experiences with in the past which have not even continued, right? So this is something where we've ticked all the boxes with Zazzle. We like it because it's been around forever. It's doing the best during COVID-19. It's always taking care of the people, which are the designers, who are contributing the products and the designs to the Zazzle marketplace. And it's very innovative. It's not owned publicly, it's owned privately. So it's not dependent on stock prices and having investors decide what happens with the company. I love all of those things. They make me feel really comfortable and good. And now the only thing missing is if you want to join and you already have, maybe you're stuck because maybe you're not even making $100 a year. And that's actually what happened to Jen and I in the first year. We didn't do so well. We actually didn't get a payout. So that means we also made less than $100 in 1 year. Pretty sad considering we put hours and hours and hours into it. Pretty much not even 9 to 5, more than that per day. And we got zilch. And so what did we do? We didn't give up, first of all. At that point, we may have thought of that we had time, but that was a big mistake on our part. We should have looked for some place to get help. Unfortunately, back then, and even now, we're the only ones that teach you how to make money on Zazzle properly and with success. And so that's what we're doing today. We're going to keep teaching you some more things about what we do in our business to keep making that money and increasing that amount from 1.5 million. And if you may have noticed and followed us for a while, it started as, oh, I made $1 million. Then, oh, guess what? Together we're making 1.2 million. Then together we've made 1.5 million. This has come over time. It's not last year. It's not last month. So Zazzle's not a get rich quick scheme. But if you put strategies into place that we talk about, our 5 strategies, then you can do what's called scaling your business, which means going from something like 2,000 a year, which is what I did in my second year, to 36,000 in 1 year. So after making $90, then 2,380, I still remember that number because it's just what happened? It was this huge increase, but it still was $2,000. What am I supposed to do with that? That's nothing. right? I want to pay my rent. I want to stay home. I don't want to go back to my 6-figure cubicle job. How do I replace my 6-figure income? And so Jennifer and I worked on scaling, and we came up with 5 strategies. And those 5 strategies are in the training, the Profit by Design Academy that we offer for enrollment. And we are going to talk about that at the end of this, but we're going to give you a glimpse into some of what we teach. And the first thing that we're going to do today is bulletproof branding. That's a tongue teaser, tongue twister. Bulletproof branding and creating brand recognition to sell more. Okay, so let's do it. Do you want to say something before we go on, or I'm just talking for you?
No, go for it. Just I'm
okay.
Here to chat. If newcomers, say hi and where you're from. We've got some really great comments coming in, and yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and I'm just noticing how tanned I look even already.
I know.
Just a couple of hours in the morning outside in the sun. And this is the thing, we work from home. We were doing Zazzle this morning. We were making products. And that is the beauty of us. We are not here that we sort of made some sort of success and then like we teach and we stopped like doing what we're teaching. Oh my gosh, I have a tickle. I can't do this today. I have to do a lot of drinking. You talk. Excuse me.
Okay, so the reason why we're so excited that we work online with Zazzle, especially during this time of coronavirus and everything with social distancing and staying at home, which we have been doing, and we have not seen a change.
I have to go and get more water.
We haven't seen a big change in our daily activities and lives because Zazzle has been a big part of our lives for the past 10 years. We've actually been working on Zazzle for 13 years now, and we earn our entire income off of Zazzle. And then now we've created courses to help everyone who wants to become successful on Zazzle as well. So working from home has really given us, like, Zazzle was the first thing, or the first step to working at home and being able to have time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. And now we want to share the successes that we've experienced, and also the strategies that we've used, the exact strategies for starting and scaling your Zazzle business. And one of the main the beginning point of scaling your Zazzle business is actually branding. Last week we did the Start Your E-commerce online business challenge, and the beginning was finding your niche, and what you can offer your customers is where you have to go back to basics, because if you don't find your niche and figure out your brand, then you don't have a really good starting point for the foundations of your Zazzle business. So this is why we're covering this is where we're covering branding in our Scale Your E-commerce online business for day 1, and then we will go through the rest of the other days in succession. But branding is super important. So if you have been part of our challenge last week for Start Your E-commerce online business, and you still have some questions, or maybe you had some really great aha moments, because we've had a lot of great can't talk today, a lot of great comments and aha moments from people who have joined and participated in our the Start Your E-commerce online business, and they realized that they needed to switch their niche or find their niche and really define things. So this is another one of those huge aha moments, because you definitely need a brand. You need one because this is the basis of your Zazzle store and what you're going to show your customers and show up as, right? And if you think about why brand is so important, it's because in the end, this is what your store is based on.
Yeah. So. And because Jen was talking about niche, I'll just tie those two together. When you've discovered what your niche is, that's when you can start to brand your store, because you're going to want to have your customer relate to you in a very specific way through your brand. And that can only happen when you know where you're selling to and what customer you're selling to. Mm-hmm. And so today we want to talk about what is brand. And brand is how your customers can connect with you, and they can connect with you in a couple of different ways: as a company, as a product, as a service, or a person. And they can emotionally connect with you. They can be transformed by your product or brand, and they can be recognizing you as a visual kind of way, in a visual kind of way. And the first, I just want to see if this is in the next slide, actually. Yes. So if I show you these brand logos, you right away know what it is that each of them represents. So that's a visual branding exercise, right? Everyone needs this, whether you're a big company or a small company. Even all of these companies here started out with logos. They may have evolved over time. They may have tweaked them a little bit. If you look at the old McDonald's M, there wasn't even an M in the logo, but now because they started making those buildings with the golden arches, they created that into their logo. Now this M, golden M, you know right away know it's McDonald's, and that's worldwide. So you as a business must start to create a brand. It doesn't mean that it's the be all and end all and you'll never be able to change it, but it means that you have to start thinking like a big business and make sure that people can recognize your brand. And we're going to show you how to do that in this challenge. But first, think about the other things that I said. Think about that it's a company, right? So you have to consider yourself a company, not just a business that's making money, but something that someone can recognize as a company that is providing a service. What are your products? And that's what's next, right? That's why we asked you to think about your niche. And what service do you give? The service is bringing joy and satisfaction to people who are looking for special, unique products, right? That's all it is for you. And it's very simple, but you're providing a service in a particular niche. And that's why we talked about niche in the Start Your e-commerce online business. I want to keep saying Zazzle. And so it is for the Zazzle business, but it's also in general. Like this is general business teaching. So, and especially in time of COVID-19, you need to be able to emotionally connect with your customer in order for them to validate that it's worth their money to buy your product. And that's going to be very tough. And that comes through in your brand and also what you provide as products in your designs and your how you're servicing that niche with unique and interesting designs for something that they actually want to buy. And of course, if it creates some sort of transformation, that's even better, right? Because if you go to any of these brands, what do you do if you have a Coca-Cola? You are transformed from a hot and thirsty person to a cool and satisfied person. And for Coca-Cola, their motto is actually to they've licensed or they want you to feel happiness. That is their goal. And IBM, you right away go, IBM Blue Sirius, it's definitely business machines, something to do with business, trustworthy, long-standing, trustworthy customers love it because they know what to do and what you get. Microsoft, that's software, right? Been around forever, software for PCs. Google, search engine, you know as soon as you see these, and if you saw Google, that's the only thing that's really kind of cool about Google. They keep changing their brand logo to have those little pictures. So they themselves created a brand by changing their logo constantly to reflect certain days of the year. It's kind of fun, right? But it's still their logo, even though they keep changing it. And so every one of these gives you brand identity, recognition, a transformation, an emotional feeling and connection. Like, for example, if you looked at iPhone and Apple, and then you looked at Samsung, you would have people who would vehemently fight over which brand was better, iPhone or anything to do with Apple, or PC, which would be anything to do with like either Microsoft or Samsung or whatnot. And that is a huge emotional attachment to a brand, even though the actual products may or not be exactly identical in terms of their service and their ability to deliver what you actually need. And so that's all of what you are doing. And so you need a brand because you want your customer to trust you and want to buy from you. And as I said, those are all the components that belong with that in order to have that person take out their credit card and put it into their shop, like the product into their shopping cart. And that's so hard because you can't talk to them. You don't even know who they are. So now we're going to show you how you can do that as effectively as possible on Zazzle, even though you can't talk to that person on the Zazzle marketplace. So the first thing you have to do is choose option 1 or 2. The first option is, are you going to be a brand as you? what that means is you are the person behind the brand and also in front of the brand, because you're going to show your face, you're going to put your name out, you're going to add a photo of you in the profile, you're going to add a logo to your store, but it's going to be consistent with the branding that you perceive, or not perceive, convey to other people. And you're going to also talk about like what you stand for and what your service is and what niche it is that you're involved in, or niches. Okay, that's option number one. Option number two is to choose a brand that is your design company. So if you're not one of these people that wants to be on Instagram all the time, or show your face on Facebook, or even in your profile on Zazzle, then that would be your choice for option number two, to become a design company, right? And that's what you are anyway. It just depends on if you're the head designer in the company, which is option number one, or you are the design company behind a logo. And again, you do the same sorts of things in terms of what you stand for in your service, but instead of showing your face and giving your name specifically, like your personal name, you would put the name of the company in, excuse me, and you would have a separate logo that was your company logo rather than your store logo. Okay, I hope I make it through here. Oh my gosh, it's just one of these days. Then, while I'm having a sip of tea, why don't you put in the chat what it is that you would want, like option one or option two. Let's take a break for a minute from the screen and see how we're doing.
Welcome all. We've got some newcomers. We also have some students and actually some coaching clients as well. So this is for to introduce people who are not in our course member area right now to how to start to scale their Zazzle business. So this is for anybody who wants to take their business to the next level, and it's just an introduction and challenge. So, but welcome everybody. We're super happy that we have so many people on. As I said, if you have any questions.
Our students always learn, even though it's right in the course curriculum. It's always good to hear it again. And this is one of the reasons that we're going to talk about later, that you have to be part of our 8-week live experience coming up. We can't wait. It's coming up on Monday. We're going to be starting, and I am so excited because we're going to walk through all the material. And most of the time, even when our students are having issues with not making the money like some of the other people in our course, they are because they haven't gone through the course material, or they haven't heard it enough times to say, I get that now. And therefore they just need that extra refresher. So I love it when you guys are on. And of course, any compliments, feedback, always, and happy to hear that as well.
Okay, so Cassie, we've got some people saying option number two with a twist on my name. Then Elizabeth
option
says,
number two is based on your company name, right? Not your name personally. That's the real distinction, right? Number one is you show your face, and I'm going to show you an example in a minute, and you put your actual name down. You don't have to put your full name down, but you have to put, like for me, it would be my photo and Elke, and then you would then have a different logo for your store, but they would then recognize you as the owner of your company. Or option number two is not showing your face, not putting a name next to your company logo, except for the name of your company, right? Okay, so we've got lots of ones and twos.
Done 1 and 2 on different platforms, mostly twos, and we still are waiting for some people to answer. Cassie says that she's realizing that she needs to change her branding, so that's really great that you're here and listening and participating. Then we've got we've got something else. Ooh, Elizabeth says, I'm having trouble branding. I'm not sure if I should have a design studio and have all the types of things like my photography, character / design work, or if I should, or if all of these should be separate. One thing that I need to think on before to get moving. And then, so we're going to go through.
Yeah, definitely. That's something you have to think about for sure. And since you're, we already know what you've got available, and so I think we've given you quite a bit to think about already. So I want to move forward because we're going to keep going on branding. But I just want to know if they want option 1 or 2, and if you understand what that means. And you can switch it out anytime, right? You can edit your profile, and that's the difference. But before you go and create social media accounts and all kinds of other stuff, be clear on that, because once you do that and you start to get a following outside of your like outside of Zazzle, then it's going to be more difficult to change your mind, right? And if you are on the fence, the most important thing is if you decide that you're not comfortable showing your face and your name and you just want to be behind the scenes, both work, right? But then that would be the option number 2 for you would be best, because that way you can become the design house or studio or uh, whatever, paper printing company, anything you want in terms of how you're, like what you're offering your store and how that would resonate with your customer. And then your store name though would still be different than your company name, just to make sure that that's the key difference right there. And but it doesn't mean that you can't even have, like, I could say EC Designs, right? Elke Clarke. I could say EC Designs, and that's my company. And then I could have EC Design, EC Designs Invitations, or EC Design Weddings, or like I could narrow it in. Like each store could be ultimately still called EC Designs and then something, if that's what you want to do. That used to be a lot of how Jennifer and I started, because that was the trend. Now it seems that you don't need to have your company name in your store name. The store name becomes its own unique entity, and then each store is a brand. So that's the other thing we're going to get into. Oh, and I'm going on the slides without having a screen sharing. That would help.
I think
that would definitely
the majority
help
of everyone says 2, actually, which is really great.
Awesome. I have to go back here in this back end now because I clicked on something. Well, no, it's okay. I went to the wrong, I'm in the wrong slideshow now. Yeah, I just have to get out of here and go back in. I know what I'm doing back here.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Back to the slides, because we want to do a little bit of a critique, like what someone has already alluded to as to what to do with their store, right? So let's start with that, with all the information first, and then we'll do a little live critique. All right, so
grab my power cord. Sorry.
Decide on, like, now that you've just decided on 1 or 2 as your option, then you need to decide on a couple more things. And we already talked about a few of them. What service are you going to provide? What niche are you niches are you serving? What product types are you offering? Then you want to go into your style. Is it like a modern or vintage or girly, abstract or nature or sports or politics or business? That can actually be a style, or it can be a style of design, right? So every one of your designs would have some sort of business side to it, or nature or abstract or girly or vintage or modern. It doesn't mean that if you make, like if you have one store, that you can't have all these styles within a store, but some of our students are specifically always tending towards a particular design style. So that could actually be the niche. And then instead of offering services only in one niche, you can offer services in all these niches, but with that design style. So there's a lot of possibilities. You just have to decide on what's going to work for you so that you can be consistent and your customer doesn't get confused. Then if you want to change it up, you can always change it up later, but work with one thing and one, like, this isn't the end of everything. By making a decision right now, just make this decision for today and for the next little foreseeable future, so that you can actually work this business properly to see if there's it can make a go of it, right? Otherwise, you're just always going to be on the fence, and you're always going to be deciding, and you won't be able to take action. So the other thing I want you to decide is, what are you known for, or what do you stand for? Sometimes there's a combination of both, but at least have them know what you're known for. So that means something like, are you good at customer service? Are you good at providing quality? Are you, a popular person? Are you like in terms of view, like what kind of views are you, like what's your view on customer service, for example? Any of these things are, like if you have a personal brand and you're an artist, then you are going to already send your customers to Zazzle, not just because you want to make money, but because you have vetted Zazzle and figured out that they do really well with their printing, and so that you can be assured that your customers that you value on giving great customer service will get that customer service even though you're not involved. That's the kind of thing that we want you to understand. And part of this is not something you can do right away, because you're basically all in the hands of Zazzle and you're starting your business on Zazzle. But when we teach people how to continue to scale, one of the things we teach them is that you have to take your business off Zazzle and create a website, social media, all that stuff, so that you're building a brand outside of Zazzle. And so these decisions that you're making here actually affect all of those other things that will happen in the future as you continue to scale your business. Okay, so you also want visual aspects that people can resonate with. When I showed you all those logos of all the companies, you right away knew a lot about that logo and what that company is, stood for, what their service was, what their style is, what you can get out of it, what kind of transformation do you get, what kind of emotional things do you feel when you see that logo. And that is what you have to do now too with your visual logo. And what you can do is use somewhere between 3 to 5 coordinating colors, 3 to 3 fonts at max, and a particular design style. Hopefully that will reflect on whatever it is that you're offering. And that's the hopefully part, because most people think they're doing that, but then they don't. So that's one of the things that we want to do today, is critique that logo and see if it matches and gives the customer the idea of what it is that you're offering in your store. So that's coming up. Okay, so let's take an example of my store. And it's so great that Zazzle gives us this homepage, which is our store homepage. If you are in your whether you're in their product management side or if you're on the front side where the customer sees, you see all of these different items. And so on the home tab, so let's start with all of these arrows to show you where things are that are important to do to have a good brand. The banner, we're just start on the right top hand side. It's kind of cut off a little bit, but I want to show you that whatever you put in your banner is a very important aspect of how you come across as a brand. Then your logo in your store is very important. Then how you name your store, that's why we talked about naming when we first started in our other challenge. Then the tagline that you've got. So we're working our way down with the yellow arrows. The next one is over there on the right, which is my picture. And I have chosen number 1. Can you tell? That's my option for branding. I've chosen number 1, where I am the name of my brand. I have put my name down, I put my logo, or my picture down instead of a company logo. But then on the left-hand side, where it's my store, I have a store logo. And so each of my stores is going to have its own brand, just so you understand that. If you have, and that's always going to be the case with whether you do the option 1 or option 2, but some people like to still say that, okay, if I'm a company brand, then each of my store logos will be similar, but then I'll just have one distinction, like business or wedding or like a niche or a service area that you're focusing on. And that's okay, but it's also confusing, because you can just have that as one store and you would just have that as a category, right? You don't need all these different stores. You could be more cohesive, and it's a lot of work to have all these stores. So next, what's the next arrow? It also is really, really great to show your designation. On Zazzle, if people understand what that is, I'm a Pro Diamond. I reached that a long, long time ago, which is when you make over 500,000 US in earnings. And is that right? Yeah, earnings. Doesn't matter, I'm way beyond that, but it really helps. For me as a Zazzle designer, people come to that and they go, I can trust this person. So show that for sure. And then you go to the About page, which is also very, very important. How you describe what you're doing on this page is significant, because you cannot avoid it. It's always there. It always is right underneath your logo, and you have to have some good stuff there to tell them what it is that you do. Then there's a couple more things. There's media on the right-hand side. Make sure you fill that out and have some really great stuff there to give people another view and feel of what it is that you offer in the store, and what your style is, or what your design is, what you're even like standing for, right? If you look at the store, I stand for clean text-based designs in multiple different occasions. And I do have home decor and personal accessories, but I have my categories and everything else set up in such a way that people get the message the minute that they come to my store. And that's really important. And that's what you have to work on for your home store, homepage on your store. So let's review. Are you going to be a person or a company? What are your services? Are you going to serve a certain kind of niche, or are you going to be serving all niches? And it's going to be maybe more a design style that you're serving. And also, what types of products do you offer? If you have particular niches, some things are obviously not as interesting to those customers in those niches compared to others. So this is part of the branding. If you have weird products that the brand and customer for that brand don't even need, then A, you're wasting your time, and B, you're sending a mixed message. And so that's also important. Style, what kind of style are you, gearing towards? What are you trying to portray? Just like with mine, clean lines, typography type things is my style. Stand for, known for, quality, views on servicing customers, that kind of thing. I have it right in my description on my about page, and anywhere that I have any description period, I say, I can help you, please contact me. And that's showing that I am very interested in helping them as a customer in a customer service way. And also then visual, I want you to understand that I had that black and white logo, and I had 3 coordinate, you can have colors that are black and white. And if that's the case, then don't worry about it, just do black and white. But if you do go with colors, 3 to 5, always an odd number, is the best way to make a color scheme work together. You can just even see it on our logo for our challenge, right? We have the coral, we have the black, and we have a pink. And so those are our 3 colors together. Then the others coordinate with that. And then we also have 3 font styles. We have the day 1 and the scale in one font style, that's a script. And then we have 2 different block caps so we're following the visual branding piece. That's very important, and that's what we teach in the Profit by Design Academy in much more detail. Okay, so what about your, let's focus in more after we've done the logo, focus in more on your service, your style, and what you stand for, and your visual. Ask yourself, are each of these represented in each one of these items in your store homepage, right? So the service, styles, what you stand for, and the visual branding, are they all in your banner, your logo, your store name, your tagline, your about section, your media, and your products? And if that's the case, then you are done the challenge. But if I would imagine that most of us in the room here, in the virtual room, are not there yet. So this is your homework and your to-do. We can now do a 10-minute critique, because we still have some more stuff to talk about afterwards, but we'll do 10 minutes of critique. If you put your store link in the chat now, we'll just do like a very quick branding audit and see if your homepage is meeting all of these brand criteria. Okay, so let's escape here for a minute, give people a chance to see and put their store links in, and then we will do it. I can't wait. I can't see anybody yet with their links, but put your links in and we will help you out. Branding.
I think a lot of you have realized that you think that you have branding, but some of your social media platforms or other platforms where you're promoting your products, or even other print on demand platforms, you're not all consistent. Because I think by accident you might have switched up a Pinterest account. I know that Cassie says that she had so many different Pinterest accounts, and maybe when you're promoting you didn't realize which one you were going to. So all of that was mixed up, you said. So it's very important sometimes when we're working online, especially for me, because I'm not in a physical store and I don't see things physically. I need things, visually, right? And so when you're setting up your Zazzle store, because it's virtual, sometimes you mistake things, or you don't realize that everything is part of the bigger picture, right? Mm-hmm. And so you have to actually really think about the fact that you are a store owner, you are serving a customer, and they are coming to your online store, but it's like going into the store physically. So if someone was to go into let's say the Gap, they're not going to start seeing Chanel products inside the Gap, right? You're expecting, basic, like high quality goods, but like very basic, not high fashion, and your staple pieces that you normally always get. Or vice versa. You're not going to go into a Chanel store and see like workout clothes that you would find in Target or the Gap, right? And so sometimes when we're doing promoting or we're on different platforms, we want to make sure that brand recognition is all the way through, because it is amazing how people find people nowadays on social media. People go down the rabbit hole in Google, and then all of a sudden they end up on your page. But if they find you from a Facebook page, and they see some sort of logo or a certain type of product, and then all of a sudden they click on that and they go to your Zazzle store, and there's a huge disconnect, you're going to lose that customer. They're not going to like understand what's going on, and all of a sudden they're going to, okay, this doesn't make sense, or the products are outdated, or they're not going to create that brand recognition and also that customer confidence. The reason why people buy from you online is because they're confident in what you're selling. So a lot of your sales come from Zazzle's customer confidence, where people come to Zazzle and then they search organically through Zazzle and find your store. But even within that, you have to have a proper store setup, because if you have a product on Zazzle that's featured in the marketplace, and then they click on your store because they want to find something else, and then they realize that your store is all over the place, or it's a mishmash of things, or it's all very confusing to find things, that customer is going to give up. They're going to go, okay, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bridal shower floral invitation. I'm going to search it in the the search bar, and I'm going to like quit looking, because they don't want to waste time. They want to find things easily and fast.
3 seconds you have to build trust and to provide a product that they want. So you have very little time to be able to figure out like, and you're not even there, right? It's not like, wait, I can tell you this, I can do more, I can help you. But no, it's not. It's actually, it's all visual, and you have to have it ready to go, because you never know when that customer is going to come to your Zazzle store or your social media platforms. And that's exactly what Jen is talking about.
Yeah, because if you have a physical store, you can see when they come into your store. You can say, can I help you? Can I serve you? What are you looking for? But online, it's the customer is at their own will, right? So they can say, oh, I'm tired of looking in the store, or this brand doesn't fit with what I'm looking for, or I don't feel confident in the seller, or maybe
it's all emotional buy. And that's what it's so interesting, because even though you're giving people a discount, that they will buy at full price if they feel connected to your product and they like your style, and it resonates. Something you've hit an emotional cue in their mind through visual to start with, obviously, because that's the only way they see who you are and what your store is. So let's have a look at Jane's designs. Thank you for listing your link. Okay, so.
And for everyone who's posted their link, thank you very much. We're not going to be able to get everybody's, no?
Yeah, we'll pick a few. Because then you'll learn from everyone else, right? Yeah. Make sure you're paying attention, right?
Yeah, I wanted to say that it's because this specific store is chosen, it doesn't mean that you can't learn from what we're talking about. So think of it as an example. We're doing a case study right now.
Yeah. Do you want to do this first one?
Sure. Okay. So in terms of brand, I love all your colors. Obviously, you are very much about bright and happy, fun colors.
Yeah, and it shows in your logo.
It definitely shows in your logo. The only thing is that so you have Jane Geller as your design. So obviously this is Jane Geller, and then there's a B. So I'm assuming that's your last name. So, but also because you have one logo here and another logo here, for me, obviously this is the higher tiered logo, except it's very different in terms of the design style. This looks very modern and very like technical almost, like
or you can consider it to be like one of those like fancy monograms. Rather than the plain one which you've got on as your store logo. So there is a disconnect there. And it's different colors too. It's a different blue. This is the kind of stuff that, even though it's very minor, it makes a big difference. And as Jen said, there's a disconnect.
Yeah. And then, but in terms of scrolling down quickly, all of your, like the branding in terms of your collections and even your products, they're pulling through all of those colors, which is really great. And I love how you've pulled these little dots, like the different shades of, and it's in your logo as well. Yeah. So this is really great. And yeah, you are definitely on the right track. Yeah. And all of your The only thing too is I'm just
The
thinking
about is a little short
yeah.
because what you want to do is keep telling about your name, get that logo recognition in terms of your name as well. So Jane Designs. So here at Jane Designs, we offer classic playful patterns design with vibrant and on-trend color palette. And then what you can do then too is you can have an email in there talking about customer service. Remember, we're talking about customer service. How do we work with you? What do we offer? You don't have to talk to people. You don't have to have an email, but you can say, we love using Zazzle as our fulfillment center so that we can be assured that you have great quality products when you purchase. Something like that in terms of what you do as a service is crucial to make sure that customers feel like they're being taken care of.
And then
Okay,
sometimes these links, I wanted to say sometimes the social media links work and they don't work, but in terms of your store, go back. I'm not going to click on these, but when you click on them, even for your own knowing, right, make sure that these links are working, because sometimes it reroutes it back to Zazzle. So if you do have a Pinterest or Facebook or Twitter, then go into your store settings and make sure that these two are also in connection with your store brand and they are cohesive. But at this point in time, it's really sweet, and I love your designs. She says she needs a profile picture. And she says, got it, thank you. It didn't occur to me to put the contact information there.
Yeah, okay, so let's try another one. That was Jane. Rochelle, let's try that. I'm going from the bottom because everything's already scrolled so far. We'll see if we, okay, so that's weird. It's Rochelle, but then it says Jenny Rajan. Okay, Jenny, did I get the right person or did I go on the wrong link here?
No, it is.
Okay, so it's Rochelle. Okay, so this
Rachel.
is Rachel, sorry. So this is one of the things that's kind of important, even with your Facebook, like you being on Facebook with a different username than what your store name is and what your designer name is. I'm going to screen share so everyone can see.
If you are,
that's confusing to me, and I'm the one that's actually knows that your two are connected. So
if you're using that as your, like, as if Rachel is your actual name or your personal profile on Facebook, that's great. I know that we have a lot of students who do this as well. They use a different name, but if you're using that to promote your artwork or actually using it to show face for your Zazzle store, there's a huge disconnect, and we get lost. And we have so much
customers do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jenny, the banner is a really great place for you to showcase some of your beautiful works of art and your options that you've got. We actually saw your store in one of the last critiques where we talked about you showing the craft paper design. It looks beautiful, actually. You fixed some of the things that we talked about. Okay, and see, if you don't want to have a photo, but you still like need to be in front of the as the person in your brand, then you can do what Jenny's done, or Rachel. I don't know now who's who, and you can use like a cartoon character image, like a painting and or something like that. That works perfectly fine. It definitely is important to. The more you can have as a visual with faces, the better, because humans connect better with faces rather than a logo. So if like you do want to have option 2, that's fine, but you have to work a little harder at making sure that people recognize you. Whereas a face, you can right away, I will always remember that beautiful painting of your face. So, and then we've got Jenny Art Designs. If you, let's see, and you're from Mumbai, India. Awesome. Find something exquisite for all occasions and events and holidays. Okay, so here is the thing where it's actually interesting to use less descriptive words. When you say exquisite, when I scroll down, I want to see exquisite. And you have beautiful designs, but not exquisite. Be careful, especially when people are coming from different countries. Their English, like English isn't maybe their first language, and they use words that might mean something to the US audience that's different than what we typically mean. Like, for example, we in Canada and you in India are probably in the same boat. We are the high British English speaking proper English, right? And that's not to mean that US doesn't speak properly. It just means that the US speaks differently, and they are the majority of our customers. So in this case, I would actually say something different than exquisite and say something more like unique or um, um, like, yeah, unique and beautiful rather than exquisite, which I know what you mean, but it can get you into trouble because then there's an expectation even before they start looking. And then when they don't see the expectation being fulfilled, they will disappear. So I hope that helps. Yeah. Okay, but otherwise everything's looking good. You don't have your media set up and everything else. So make sure you do that. You're missing out on some
on the
good
right-hand
stuff.
side here.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long. Just take some screenshots, even some of the screenshots of the product.
And then also your categories too. So
yeah, but we're not doing that right now.
No, I know, but in terms of the
Oh,
branding.
yeah, you're right. The categories are missing.
So right now at the top you have your first. This is obviously hopefully one of your most popular collections. But on the top you could see with Jane's store, she had her categories. So it featured she had the different types of patterns. But you probably have seen on other stores where, especially on Elke's, it said like home, baby, celebrations, wedding, and so you're losing out. And that's actually a really great place to showcase your brand as well and pull it through to your products, just like we saw in Jane's store with all of the beautiful colors.
Yeah.
So
okay, so that's good. Yeah, I would definitely make sure that you are Jenny all the way through with everything.
Yeah, and she hasn't replied yet, but I think that that's definitely one of the things that we have found, especially when like students have decided on a different like pen name, so to speak.
My pet name is Rachel. So I guess that's your pet
name.
Yeah. So this is actually like, we don't mean to like be rude or anything, but this is where people get into trouble. You cannot name a store company name and be working on Facebook as a business with a pet name or anything else. It all has to be consistent.
Unless she's using this as her personal.
Yeah, then that's true.
Because if this is your Facebook profile, Rachel.
But if I went onto your profile now, yeah, then we would, and if you had anything to do with like showcasing Zazzle products, you won't be looked at as professional as if you had everything consistent.
Yeah, but if you had a Facebook page that's connected to your Zazzle business, and then if you had other social media and it said your Zazzle store name, then that's perfectly fine. Because we do have some students who they don't like to publicly share their actual name, which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And so if you have your Facebook profile, which you're using right now, and then your Zazzle store is connected with something different, then that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. You see how it sort of trickles into other areas, and that's why it's so important to have this nailed down right at the beginning. So this is Leah, and it's her store. We are missing the categories. We've got the media. That's fun. I can see even just from slight pieces of the media that you are interested in lots of drawings and artwork, and you've got a little bit of something going on with patterns and US. So I get an image of what's there to offer, and that you must be an artist, right? Because you've got your palette there. So this is a really great way to showcase who you are in images, and that's what the media is all about.
And we also have her logo.
Yeah, and I love your logo, because even though it's a picture of you, it's showcasing who you are and what you're doing, because you obviously are an artist, right? I get that all in that one photo, even if it's not like a text-based design.
The only one thing that I want to point out is you've decided to change your store name, and then you've created a store previously with Bow Wow and Meow, which I guess that's had something to do with dogs and cats. Maybe you really enjoyed doing artwork with that. So that's fine that you changed. And I do like home lifestyles.
Yeah.
But then now you have to really make that clear that your store is about either home decor or artwork. And because you're primarily more about artwork, you want to make sure that that comes out.
Yeah,
through
and we're just
your
looking at some
profile.
of the things that you've got. So you do have animal-based designs, including dogs. But yeah, I would say that you have a decision to make, Leah, about what it is that you're going to focus on in the store. You could, like, if you want to, you can go back to Bow Wow and Meow. It's actually a fun store. It's a very big niche that people always love to shop in. So you could focus on dogs and cats to start with.
Mhm.
You can have dogs and cats in your banner, in your categories and all that stuff. It doesn't mean you can't sell other artwork with other animals on it. It just means that those were always going to be more the focused ones, the dog and cat ones, on your main homepage and in your store categories.
Yeah, and then I love this amazing drawing of an alligator or a crocodile.
You're obviously very talented.
But for me, I've got a huge disconnect because I know that you're an artist, but I don't know why this has to do with home lifestyle. So if you use the banner to showcase some really great home decor or home decor items or home items with the artwork of the alligator and then other artwork as well, then that would make more sense to me in terms of your brand.
And home lifestyles, and especially since I think it's lifestyles is one word, if you're going to use it as that, or maybe you had a clever idea of like it would be home, life, and styles. That's too much to think about too quickly in order for the customer to understand why your store is named that. So I would actually suggest that maybe you think about your store name, if you want to keep it as home lifestyles, how that really works. You could, because you're just making a name up right now, you can change it and you can play around with it. But I would say maybe home, for home, like home, comma, life, comma, or a stylish home and life. Like that would already be a better title if you want to focus on anything that's like home decor and lifestyle, which would be clothes and everything else. If you're not more so in occasions, which is kind of what you're doing, right? You've got mostly products that are in everything but occasions.
About mostly animal and travel and architecture. Am I too all over the place? I think what
Yes.
you can definitely do, you're very all over the place right now, but what you can definitely do is if all of this is your personal artwork, you can combine all of those things together, but you have to pull it through with your specific style. So a certain medium of artwork then, or something that flows together. Because right here, I see this beautiful picture of the alligator, but then I scroll down and I start to see, or a crocodile.
I don't know what it is.
But then I scroll down and I see more like, not clip art, but like more like fun cartoon art, right? And
yeah, like corgis and bunnies and flamingos.
And then I see some really cool like watercolor designs, but then I also see fun, like this is more like graphic art to me. So if you have, like in terms of your medium, you can definitely do travel, architecture, and animals, but you have to pull it through as a whole, like something that sticks together, right?
Yeah. And so I think there's a bit of work to.
So I think, what I want, like for your niche, probably you have to think of it, and that's where we went with the challenge last week, because you really need to figure out your niche. You have your store set up, but I think your store needs to be set up with more purpose to it. And especially that's why we've seen now that you've changed your name, because maybe you weren't completely 100% sure about where you wanted to go, right?
Maybe you want to do more than dogs, which is perfectly fine. But if you already have like a nice setup with the dogs, and it was mainly those dog products, and then you started making more, then what you could decide is, after you see whether or not the other products that you've made in addition to the dogs and cats are getting views, then that's give you an indication as to whether or not you should start another store or change it again, and instead of like just maybe call it your name artwork, right? And then their tagline explains where your artwork is on, and then that to solve the entire problem. But yeah, the store name itself is quite distinctive, and if that's actually working for you, I would say do that store name, start another store for your other stuff that you have in there. But if most of the products are not dog and cat, and it's just a mishmash of things, then just change your name, leave the store URL, stay in that one store, and play around until you get more traction for like people buying stuff that consistently, so that you know for sure that you are going in the right direction with your niche choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was.
And Rachel said she has a Facebook page for her store. Then
anybody else have?
Yeah, you have to scroll up.
Oh, further. Much further. Yeah. Sorry, you keep talking. I'm going to find somebody. We've done Jane. We've done Leah. Oh, Jana. Okay, let's try that one. sorry, I don't, there's so many stores. We're just going to try a few more and then we're going to finish off.
But write in the comments if you've seen, like, we know that we haven't covered everybody's, or maybe you haven't personally put your link in, but have you realized some things that you might think that could be applicable to your store? Or you realize, oh, I'm not using my banner properly, or I don't have my media set up, or I don't have my logo and profile cohesively, or if my colors don't go through, or as we said, with the, we've realized that a lot of people, they have, you know, a certain store name, or they've changed it to a different name, and that's fine, but you want to make sure that it all works properly, because, for example, your Google SEO, especially when people are going on and you kept more brand recognition, if you can go onto Google and you say embracing victory plus Zazzle and the art of J. Humley, sorry, hopefully I'm saying your name comes up, you can go into Google and you can see your search results. I do it all the time for my store to figure out what kind of things come up and what kind of search keywords I can use. And so if your store doesn't come up, then if someone knows your name or your store name, but there's a disconnect with your branding, or you don't have everything like properly on your profile or your store, then people who are going on to Google won't find you. And then also they won't find your Pinterest account, they won't find your Facebook. So it's all more than just posting products for sale on Zazzle. It's a whole bunch of things. And that's why the Profit by Design Academy is so important. And then also
takes 8 weeks to get through the course, because you're creating a business.
Yeah. So anyway, it's
Okay, so now let's try. I think your first name is Julie. Is it Julie or is it?
No, it was Jana. Let me just see. Jana.
Sorry, Jana. Okay, so Jana, this is awesome. Guess what? You have this wonderful smiling face in this picture, but I can't see it. And I'm old, I already need glasses, but it's just your picture there is actually bigger than most places your picture will show up if you're people are looking at your profile. So do your best to get another picture, even if you just zoom in, so that you can really see your smiling face. Because if you're going to use a profile picture of yourself, you have to have it connected so that people see your eyes, because that's what humans do. We connect through the eyes, and so there's just too much around there. And people then, like for me, this is how my brain works, and this is probably how most other people's brain works. I go like, okay, now where is she sitting? She's having dinner. Oh, she's in her backyard, and isn't it beautiful? There's like a nice sunny day. So there's like just a walking conversation, or a running conversation. Sorry, not running, walking. But it's what people do with their minds. And all we want to do is say, that's Jay Humley, and she's the artist. Awesome. Now I know who she is, and I connect with her because I see her beautiful smiling face. So take another picture, please, and put it up there. You'll see a difference. Because especially since you are the digital artist, writer, tea enthusiast, you're telling us so much about yourself. So make sure your face is there too, so that I can, as a customer, make that connection between your visual face and your budding digital artist story. And I love that Bay Area much of my life, but the only thing that gets a little bit like people stop looking is when you start to go into too much of a story about yourself. I know that Zazzle says, hey, tell people about yourself, and I did that when they first said that. But I get more traction and more people coming to me when, after I say like one sentence about me, I actually say then more about how I, with my skills, can serve the customer. So instead of you telling us about how you love Photoshop and everything like that, and how long you learned to program and other techniques, say, I use my Photoshop techniques that I have crafted over the years to create stunning, amazing, unique products that you are going to love. Right? And so that all of a sudden changes everything. It's like, ooh, I'm going to love these. Let me check them out. Right? So this is how you bring your customer in, and also with the face, because we are doing all kinds of things that big box stores and brand names do all the time. Right? Do you see people drinking Coke from a distance. No, you see them up close. You see the Coke is the main thing. Perfect person in the background drinking Coke. Everyone's smiling. Everyone's happy. That's the whole point. So this is what you're doing here too. You're saying, I love being an artist. I'm going to have a big smiley face there. And then here's my artist bio. I'm artist, writer, tea enthusiast in San Francisco. People can really identify with that. And then after that, it's like, how can I serve you? And so all of a sudden, people are like so connected to you. They're going to check you out. And even if they didn't really come to your store just to check you out. Okay, so then embracing victory. We've got a couple of disconnects with the banner and with the logo. The logo is black and white. And embracing victory is lots of blues and stuff like that, and more like 3D, and all of these things matter. And obviously you're very talented with Photoshop, so you could just design the heck out of all this stuff and create something that's awesome but consistent, right? So make sure that you pay attention to some of the other things that we talked about in terms of consistency, different kinds of colors. Is the embracing victory, I'm going to go into your products now, but this is already like, you could do so much here that would just nail the emotional part of buying for a customer. And also you want to say something about, hey, I love to talk to you, right? Because especially artists, some people who come as artists are, or sorry, when they're checking out artists, they're very intimidated actually. They think you're like a bit high on a pedestal and maybe you can't get a connection with them. And if they love your stuff, the first thing they want to do is say, I love your stuff. And that is like a gold, because you have all of a sudden connected with them, right? So now they're open to whatever you have to say in terms of, hey, well, if you love my stuff, what are you looking for, right? And you can have this conversation on Facebook. You can have a conversation on the chat that Zazzle has now in terms of messaging. You can have this conversation through email. And when you have it through email, then all of a sudden you also get referral income, which is awesome. So these are all ways to scale your business, because you're bringing more customers in, they're resonating with you, they'll probably look you up later and find you again when they have another product that they want to buy, and you get a chance to talk to them, which is unheard of, right? Like even this messaging system that they have now on Zazzle, it's tough to talk to people because they're getting messages from all over the world at different times, and it always just feels like I can't connect properly with my customer. But when I get them as an email customer, then I can serve them greatly, and I usually get a lot of benefit from that. And so this is my suggestion to you, especially when you're building your brand as an artist. Okay, I love your categories. I think it's cool that you're using your hopefully those are your designs and not just images off of the internet in terms of Unsplash. But if I see that you have this California cowgirl in there somewhere in your product assortment, it would be awesome. Mm-hmm. And because I love the way you've got that California vibe going, but it's a very much a disconnect from what your banner is and what your logo is. So which one are you going for? Because this is what we talk about with style, right? Mm-hmm. Are you going for the California vibe, which is what your categories look like? Or are we going for the hardcore, it's almost like a bit of yeah, like I wouldn't expect any color from you, from your logo. I would just be expecting black and white and lots of like out there stuff, which is really cool. Like I was thinking anything goth, or like maybe not goth specifically because of the wings, but something where it's very black and white. So then that confuses me as a customer to go blue with the other banner part. And then I come down here and then that's more like, you know, chill vibes, browns, blacks, boho, yeah. Right? So figure out where you fit with all of your artwork, and then like make it consistent. Mm-hmm. Is that helpful? Because that was a lot, and I don't want, like, you have obviously got some really great stuff there, and you've got a really great identity. So let's just put it together in a nice package so that people resonate with you.
We have a question with Andrea. She had a question here. We can look at her store quickly. It's really great in terms of branding.
Click out the other one.
Oh, yeah. She wants to know, I want to pick her because she said she has her profile and her store, like they're both the same. Okay, so should she change it or should she keep it? Andrea is a Profit by Design Academy student, so she's going to be participating in the 8-week live experience.
Awesome.
But yeah, this is really cute. Your brand, I already wrote down, I said, your brand is awesome. She obviously has some really great artwork for dogs, pet friendly. And I love how you've put your categories here, dog breeds.
Yes, exactly.
But
oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yeah.
This is branding. This is amazing. Okay, but your question.
So she has pet friendly as a designer and then also pet friendly as a store. She wants to know, her question was, should I change it? And she says, I'm assuming the answer is yes. So should my designer my designer name and logo be different than my store name?
Do you still want to be a personal brand or you want a company brand? And that's the thing. So here's the thing, you are so unique and so identified with this logo and with your products and everything else, that in this case, it could be that you do the profile and a store that is the same. If you don't ever want to do anything other than this one store, that's the key, right? If you now, and maybe leave it like this for now, and then when you start to branch out, if you do anything other than pet friendly, then you can switch this if you create it on the same Zazzle account. So at this point, I would say just keep them the same.
Yeah.
It's another way that you can have a second touch point, which we talk about in the Profit by Design Academy, to help market your brand and keep people aware of your brand. So I think it would be actually fine.
I was thinking the same thing, unless you specifically wanted to be known as the designer, but I think it's perfectly fine.
And the only thing is, sorry, go ahead.
No, I cut you off.
We're going to say the same thing.
Probably. Yeah. In terms of the sizing. No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go for it.
No, go.
This banner is absolutely adorable. I love it because it brings me in. It shows me all of your great artwork. But I being the designer, and we speak to our students about this all the time, is that for some reason, a lot of us want to showcase everything, but we don't keep the proportions. So you see there's a mug that's the exact same, or sorry, even smaller than a cell phone case. Then we have an address label here that's as big as a pillow. For the outside customer to see all these things, they definitely will. They will see this and they get, the pillow and the cell phone case, but then they won't understand the dimensions. And because we're in a virtual store, we want to showcase as much as we can in terms of the reality of the product so that our customers get it. Like they can actually understand the size and they can mentally understand the physical ratio to things.
And it also is then not a customer dissatisfaction, because if they see that your label is as big as the cup, then they'll go, oh, good, I finally found a place where I can get a big label, right? And I want to buy this. And then they realize the label is like really tiny. And so, or a sticker, right? Cooper with a sticker. So please be careful with that. You can showcase some of this, like those designs, in a different way, but all proportionate. And you can switch it out every so often too, so that one time maybe you're doing cell phone cases, one time you're doing pillows, one time you're doing labels. That's perfectly fine. But proportion, the disconnect means you're visually representing that product incorrectly, and that causes mistrust and also customer dissatisfaction. And even though, at first it was like, oh my God, this is so cute. I love everything. Let me see what's going on. And afterwards they go, but where's that label that was as big as the cup? And even though they didn't go, oh, I see there's a label as big as a cup to start with on their banner, they do later look for that, which is so odd. But that we are dealing with customer behavior and we have no interaction with the customer. So we have to do our very best visually to make sure that we don't create false sense of hope.
Yeah. Because
false sense of hope means super, super mistrust, and then they're gone. Yeah.
But your designs are super cute.
And you're doing everything really well.
Yeah. What I would suggest is if you want to change the banner, put in, use the address labels with other stationery and then do the cell phone cases with other cell phone cases and keep it all consistent so that that way you can have the sizes properly. Sorry.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Okay, so that's good. We've done quite a few, right? How many have we done? 5 or 6? Yeah. Anyone else on? Because we're also looking at the time here. I want to also show you a couple more things. Do we do one more, or do we?
Let's just go up. We've got Marouche. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name properly. It was just before Jana, and I think that That's all we can scroll up anyway. It bumps us out. So there's Kelly.
Kelly.
Then if you scroll up even further, yep, keep going, keep going, keep going.
We're trying to find it without losing the. If I go too fast, it doesn't.
Above.
Leah. Yeah, it's not actually letting me go further.
No. Okay. Nope. Oh, now it's bumped me down too.
Yeah. No, actually, sorry. If you want to repost it, we can look at it later, and we can do a little text review for you.
There's Kelly if you wanted to.
But yeah, where's Kelly? Now did I go past her again?
No, she's further down here.
Okay. Let's see about Kelly.
Yeah, for some reason on the chat, if there are too many comments, we actually can't scroll all the way to the top.
Okay, so let's do the screen share. We're going to be with you in a minute here. Okay. Okay, so gear for you. Awesome. I think I've already given you a review because this looks very familiar. It's also very unique. But hey, let's go for it. I love your design here, but as we were talking about, if you're going to say your name, you cannot not have a picture. Okay, and I mean, it's not a rule, but you're not being very effective by not having a picture of yourself. And I maybe understand your shyness because yeah, I think I've talked to you before. If there's any way to even just have the K, and you don't want to do KK because that could be misconstrued as KKK. You don't want that. And there's already a lot going on, like gear for you with the U meaning something other than that. So it would be really great if even if what you did was say Kelly or something, so that you don't consistently have everything end with one letter, if that makes sense. Because what you're doing with your brand is saying, I'm a brand that doesn't talk like say the words fully. I make things shorter, and that's maybe not something you had accept or even thought about, but that's what happens. And funny, inspiring life, designs you're going to love on products you're going to use. I love the designs you're going to love on products you're going to use, but I don't understand the funny, inspiring life. It doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Because I know what you're trying to say, but it's either funny or it's inspiring, and I don't know what the life means. So I think that there might be something that needs to happen there. You don't have to have gear as in the works of gear, because that's sending another message. The message here should be it's gear for you. Like describe what gear means. I think what you're trying to say is gear is clothing and accessories, right? That you are going to use, which I see, right? You've got accessories and clothing. Unfortunately, you have a lot of categories. This is a mistake that a lot of people make, and it makes customers just get so confused that they don't know what to do next. And since you have this beach thing going, it means that you're one of our students from the e-commerce accelerator, I believe. And so you already know that you need 6 categories at most, right? You can have more, just don't show them all with images, right? So that your customer can scroll down easily to find stuff. The reason you're doing that is for the main reason that if you are on your phone, right? If you're on your phone, which 50% of customers are, they're going to have to scroll through all of these categories every single time they want to get to a product of yours in a listing, which is not going to be very nice. They're going to get very distracted and frustrated, and they won't be interested in looking for your product. Remember, they're not at this point looking for your category. They already want to find your product. And so have another look at that. Check with us about that. It's not really what we were talking about here in terms of setting up your store and your categories, but this, because that branding is all together consistent, this is something missing from yours, right? Those first 3, that's why you all thought my store was really pretty, it exactly matches what I say in the brand, what I say, in the about, in my picture, in my banner. See here, I see a beautiful picture and a script. And so I think, oh wow, she's got like this really cool like occasion store because she's got really cool text-based designs. But then I see the banner and it's red and green and there's some gears, and it makes it look a bit dated. And so it would be awesome if you could just have something that was, and then make it personal and customize it, is not the name of your store, it's the name of what you can, it's what you can do, right? So again, I would say make it personal and customize it. It should be like products for your life. I know that where you came with that from your like the 7 Days to Success course, but specifically, what do you do for those? Like these are unique designs specific that you can customize for your life or to make your life better, right? So we're dealing with a couple of things. Your tagline, your logo should be gear for you. Figure out your logo. I think your colors don't match anything in your designs. So you don't have to pick that color. You can be more on the black and white side, which actually would make much more sense. And then all of this banner should go away. Take your taglines that you've got in your banner, put them in your tagline, and then in your banner, showcase some of your beautiful products, but don't make them float like we talked about with the other banner, as well as what you're doing here in your categories, right? You don't want it to be floating so that you've got, yeah, you have great products, right? I like your journals. I can see, like, if you just took that one baby's first year and you showcase that in the same way that I showcase my one design, one product on the one category, then that would just nail me, right? I would just say, oh, I want to look where and see what that is. I like that. It's really beautiful. Same with your, let's see, what else could you pick? And then like all of these are just too disconnected. Just take one item, not three, and showcase them on a uniform background. If that's white, great. If it's some other color, that's awesome. If you want to have it, each of them on like an in situ stylized image, we show you how to do that in the Vault, in the e-commerce accelerator. So you are set to go. I think that's the main thing here is, thank you for letting us like tear your store apart here. This will work so much better for you once you make this branding change, right? Because you have really great products. You have a ton of things to showcase. And we just need to get the customer to go to understand what's going on, because you have things happening in all different areas. Okay, do we have more questions?
One more that Elizabeth, who just recently signed up, she has had lots of questions about Zoom, so let's do hers quickly.
All right.
And then after that, we are going to
just show you the rest of our slides that we prepared for you, because some of you might be more interested than just this challenge. Do you understand how much value you have received here? And believe it or not, there's so much more that you can get and you can understand, and that has to be part of your business that you're setting up. And the Profit by Design Academy, which is what we're going to talk about, that's open for enrollment right now. It will close very soon, because next week we start our 8-week lab experience. We only open this course for you once or twice a year, which means that we're going to stop talking about the course very soon, and you'll wonder, how come I can't enroll anymore? It's like, because it's closed, and you will have missed out. And now is the time to actually get ready for the rest of the year of selling. And there's a lot of work to do, and we're ready to do it with you in the 8 weeks. And so we can't wait to get started. But if you're not on board with us at the same time, then you're losing out, and doing it on your own is not going to be as easy as just having the roadmap and just taking you through. If it takes us 8 weeks to go through the 5 strategies and all the training in the Profit by Design Academy, and you still have work to do afterwards, can you imagine doing this all on your own? I don't think so. Plus, you're going to make mistakes, and here we're telling you exactly what to do. Okay, so let's do the screen share for the tunes.
I just wanted to say too that the value that we've given you here in this challenge within an hour has been so valuable, and we go much more in depth. And if you would be part of the 8-week experience with us and, learn these things from the beginning, it actually saves you so much time, because now you don't have to go back and change all these, like you understand the way things work properly.
Yeah. And this is what we do in our coaching calls as well. So
Yeah.
if you're interested in the VIP experience, which is something I'm going to talk about, this is very important to pay attention, because we are always here to help.
Awesome. Just wanted to say, I always say, I just want to say, I want to say.
No, you're not allowed to say it.
I'm looking forward to the class. I have binge watched a lot of the content, and I've already made so many changes to my shop, and I'm already seeing results. That's
Yay.
awesome. Yeah, and she hasn't even had the experience yet. So she's part of the Profit by Design Academy, and she's doing it on her own. And then we go into even further detail with the course. Okay.
And that's, just so you know, it's open right now to all of our students that have enrolled, right, for the next week. Then what we do twice a year is we shut down the modules and we drip them again, which means we open each module bit by bit. So if you join now, you get a week's worth of binging that you can check out everything. And then after that, you have to work with us through the 8 weeks, because there are certain subtleties, like all of the things you're learning here, that make a huge difference, right? And we want you to focus on them, and we want you to have enough time to implement them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is Elizabeth's store.
First of all, your store name is Zimbatunes, and your designer name is Zimbatunes.
Okay.
You've changed your name to Love Bugs. We know a little bit of the background history. You're a little bit worried about where to go in the direction. I think this is very cute. The Love Bugs, as we spoke to you before, is that you really have to create strong brand recognition, because if you want it to be something like a Hello Kitty or a type of cartoon that people are attracted to because of the cartoon characters, you need to work really hard on that. And so I love your story here. You're saying that like the parents are bow and arrow, and then they have children. So that's awesome. So you're creating this little story for people to understand, which is really great. This, for me, the Zimbatunes, maybe you have to give a bit of more of an explanation on what Zimbatunes is and how it's related to Love Bugs, because I personally understand that maybe tunes is because of like cartoons, but I don't know where the Zimba comes from, and I'm not too sure about the story.
Yeah.
And also
that has to be a little bit in this. And I would say, unless you are very, like, I don't see the connection. I see Zimbatunes as your store name, and just like the pet example, you can have the store name and the profile name the same if that's what you'd like. And I would not have the ZT. Looks very much like a university logo, because of the choice of characters and fonts that you used, and it doesn't match your characters that you're drawing, right? So you could just easily, quickly change that out. And like Jen said, put something in about Zimbatunes. Zimbatunes created the Love Bugs family, and it's one of our, and then if you have other items, or are they always just about the Love Bugs in here? And it's different occasions. It's so cute.
Well,
you're
so
actually
you've got Love Bugs.
Yeah, they're in all different occasions. Royal
Yeah, that's really sweet. I mean, you are in a different category than a lot of the other designers on Zazzle, because you have to work really hard at creating this sort of attraction to the story and to the characters, right? Because why would I pick this versus going on and picking a Disney character or picking a different designer's cartoon? So you have to make the parents who are buying the products resonate with it, or you have to make the child resonate with it, because I'm assuming that this is for like, a younger audience, right? And so you really have to work hard on creating that story with it.
And what's your service to the customer? Your service is having these characters on different things that they can use, right? And I see that you have occasions, you have sports, you have holidays, you have
she says too, I was thinking about, should I change my name to the design studio to include the other characters? Well, if you kept with Zimbatunes, what you could do is actually create within your collections or within your categories Zimbatunes as a category, and then if you have other artwork that has underneath your umbrella company for Zimbatunes, so other cartoon characters.
The Love Bugs is one star category, and then your other characters another character star category, and then you go deeper that way. And I think that actually would make much more sense. And then instead of having, see, for me, even though these are cute characters, they don't mean anything to me in the banner.
Yeah.
So what needs to happen is you have to showcase what's happening here. I would actually say that there would be, if you want to do, you can do two things. You can showcase products that have these on them, and just like we do with lots of other ones of our designs, and you treat them as a design, or they become an entity, which is what you're trying to do. And so you can even have a picture of you on a computer drawing or something on the left, and then it kind of like, you know how Zazzle has that picture of, here's the artwork or here's the photograph, and then there's like an arrow, and then it goes, here it goes, and then the arrow shows that the artwork is floating and gets added to a product, and then they show the blank product, and then they show the actual product. So you could actually do something like that, where it's very clear as a story for me visually to understand that you are the artist and that you are creating these really cute characters, and then they go on products that are everything that you sell in your store.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be really cool. And then you can even have Zimba tunes. You can have a picture there if you're so inclined, if you're able to feel comfortable online, then you would be in front of the computer, like what are the like Peter Rabbit, and how the stories came out of the computer, and there's an artist and they created the story and all the characters came out. It's that kind of image that I foresee for you, because it's one of these things where you have to tell the story with every image and every brand piece that you have as to what it is that these are, because no one knows what love bugs are, and you need to educate people,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to create fans.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that helps. And it's what we do not everyone is making wedding invitations, as you can see. But there's no reason why people who are artists like Elizabeth cannot sell on Zazzle, but they have to use Zazzle in a much more strategic way, because people are not going to look for love bugs unless Elizabeth has created a lot of interest and buzz around love bugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so then what you have to do is educate that person that doesn't know what the heck love bugs is, or any of the other characters that you have. And you have to showcase how it works, who's behind the designs, where can people find these, like what can people use these for. And so you're going to have a lot of outside social media confirmation that kids like these, or these are great on journals, or this is like, there's stories about how kids are asking their moms for love bugs, and then what is a love bugs family, like how do they, and what does this is where you talk about what you stand for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to attract the parents. So this is the kind of thing that we talk about, not only in the Profit by Design Academy. You're in the right spot for sure, Elizabeth, but we don't want to get too far off of branding today. But you can see how branding, even on the store banner, is so important
Mm-hmm.
to helping your customer get all of those other things that we talked about. So if we go back to the slides.
Yep. She says, thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to go back to this slide, and then that way you can understand why I just said all those things, because this is how brands become effective, right? They become effective because they provide a service, they generate a style that you can recognize with them, right? And that's like the Coco, the Chanel and the Gap example. What do you stand for, or what are you known for? And this one's really big for Elizabeth. She's got are you standing for another alternative to parents who are sick of Disney,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's what you stand for, then, if that's your brand and your story. Or it could be that you're known for creating wonderful designs that children love, right? So you can either do like a bit of an adversarial brand standing for, or you can just say, here's like the best thing that's ever come out of children's drawings, right? So that's what you stand for, one or the other, and or some mixture of that. And you have to showcase that visually. And we just explained to you really great examples that all the artists here can use to really get that brand identity of connecting the artist with the customer. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you have to ask in each of these places that were on the homepage, the banner, logo, store name, tagline, about section, media, and products that you offer. And I didn't actually say categories in there, which I missed. So all of those have to represent the service style what you stand for, and your visual.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a lot of homework to do tonight before you come back tomorrow when we
Yes.
hear your aha moments, because this was huge, right? Everyone loves this.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? If you don't want to wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be covering day 2 with SEO and titles and tags, you can actually already join the Profit by Design Academy. You can be in there in 2 seconds as soon as you decide which payment plan you want, and you can get access to the 5 proven step-by-step strategies so that you can confidently start and scale your Zazzle business.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything that we have in the we don't call it the beginner's course anymore, because it's really not the beginner's course. We start you here as a beginner as well. And then we give you enough information to also scale, right? And even in these uncertain times, and I want to get to that today, because we've got so many examples of students that are doing well right now, doing their best ever. So let's do some facts. First of all, the 5 strategies are the 5 strategies that we created when we were working things out. Remember, I talked about how we struggled in the first year and the second year, and then all of a sudden in the third year, we made like 30,000, or I made 30,000 in 1 year. Jen also made a lot of money, but she went from like nothing, basically $90. I think you and I were both about the same, right? And then all of a sudden, instead of making very little every month, she was making 2,500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then she made 5,000 a month, and then it just kept going. So that's the strategies that we talk about and teach you in the 5 strategies are in the Profit by Design Academy. I almost called it the old name, but I'm not going to. And the other fact is that these same strategies are the ones that our students are using and they've used them to make anywhere from 5K to 10K to 20K to 40K and even 100K since joining our Profit by Design Academy.
Yeah. So
if you are ready to start and scale your Zazzle business to 5,000 a month fast, then you have to go to elkeclarke.com/scale. And that will give you a lot of information there. It'll tell you about the course modules, give you more testimonials, and you will get to see all the things that you need to get and understand before you can say, oh yeah, this works for me. But honestly, if you want to start and scale your Zazzle business to 5,000 a month, and then you go, that's me, I'm in. Then, and if you are ready to work hard and smart, because we teach you how to work smart, but you still have to put in the work. And that doesn't mean like I did a piece of work today and it was like 5 minutes and then Elke said I don't have to work anymore. No, we ask you to work 20 hours a month and we ask you to make 100 products a month. And then we do all kinds of stuff to teach you what to do for promotion and so on. But so if you're in for that and you're willing to put in that work and you want that extra feeling of confidence and so on, that you've got a roadmap to follow and these 5 strategies are working for others, so they could work for you, then you are in at elkeclarke.com/scale. And we are closing enrollment soon. So no more, like we've had some people on for, this is the 4th challenge they've been with us on. It's time to make a decision. Okay, so here's another fact. Our students have had their best months ever in March and April of 2020, even in these uncertain times. People who come to us and they go, well, I really want to be part of your course, but the economic times are so bad. There's no way that anyone's going to buy anything right now. How can I start a store with you? How can I invest so much money knowing that I probably won't make any sales? Well, that is so wrong, because we have the proof and it's coming out of the woodwork here and there. Everyone's calling us or texting us or telling us when we have our Facebook Lives and coaching sessions, they go, I can't believe it. I'm getting my best month ever. And I'm actually hitting my dream goals. And we're just smiling because we know they have been set up properly. They have done the work. They have put in the 5 strategies. And so even now in uncertain times, and we're not telling you to open up a big restaurant right now, right? We are going with our 3, the framework that I always teach: perceivable, passive, profitable, which is my framework for choosing a business. And the business that I chose that met that criteria a long time ago was Zazzle, right? I had other businesses I went to galleries, I put my artwork out in shows, and that wasn't passive and that wasn't profitable. So those got nixed off the list. Instead, Zazzle checked off all of those boxes. And therefore, if you are making a decision on which online business to choose, Zazzle does check those boxes. It's perceivable. You have more than enough information here to understand that you could possibly do this, right? You can perceive and believe that it's possible for you. And because you see others doing it, and you see that we, long time people on Zazzle have done it, people who just started in the last year are still making the money and having success. So then you are definitely on the perceivable, right? Then you know that it's a passive income, you work hard, you put it together, then you start to be in the managing phase. And then guess what? You start making money even though you're not working. That's what's happened to Jen and I. We have the time to give back and do this extra course here so that you are taken care of, and you can also be part of this amazing, thriving community while our Zazzle business is still making money, right? We're managing it, we're just not building it and growing it and scaling it. So that's where you come in right now, in making sure that you get the help to do that. And of course, it's very profitable. We keep about 85 to 95% of our items that, or payout that we get from Zazzle, which is cool, right? If you think about it. If you had any other store or business, you would have to pay out in Facebook ads, or have a physical store, or have more employees, or source products, and that you buy them and you put them in your garage. None of that is part of this formula. So, and our students are no longer wasting their time. They feel confident that it'll work for them. They have proven roadmaps that take them through each of the areas that are part of the 5 strategies, and they have a positive community to support them. So if you like all of this, then please go to elkeclarke.com/scale so that you can join us, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that we have that is going away soon, and then your opportunity will be lost. So, but here's fact number 5. The proof is in the testimonials. So let's read some. This month's income is the best I've ever had on Zazzle, including the golden years of volume bonus. So any of you that are longtime Zazzle designers who are still at their bronze badge or something, or had volume bonus coming in and it made you go up in the badges, but now you're not making that 1 to 5K or even 10K a month, then guess what? That is the 5 strategies that we teach in the Profit by Design Academy have helped this person who was in that situation. She was struggling after the volume bonus was killed. Basically, I don't consider it even an income anymore. And because we were making $5,000 to $6,000 a month on volume bonus, at least I was. Some people were making more. And instead of worrying about it and so on, I put my 5 strategies to use. I pivoted and I overcame it, and I made more afterwards, and I didn't have to worry about the volume bonus. So we teach you very solid business foundation strategies, so that even in uncertain times, like when the volume bonus is no longer, and if anyone doesn't know what that means, then it's just a very sad time for a lot of people in the Zazzle designer community. And also now, I started in the recession, and so did Jen, and we worked through it and actually were more profitable in the recession and then others, and it's because we were implementing the Profit by Design Academy training. And now we're in another recession. It's coming. If you think it's not, don't kid yourself. However, Zazzle's still open. People still need to shop online. You are providing a unique design service. So guess what? Those factors together are really, really great to tick off as a good company to stay with, to make and build your Zazzle business on, or your e-commerce online business on the Zazzle platform. Okay, and then of course we get wonderful testimonials all the time about things like your kind and generous hearts radiate through. It's the best part of the course, aside from all the other stuff I never would have figured out on my own. And that's really important, because you have to also resonate with us. We talked about branding today. We talked about how there's an emotional connection. If you connect with us, then you will get a really good spider sense as to whether or not you are going to be comfortable with us, and you're going to be able to listen to us and agree with what we suggest. And that's up to you. And we are just as happy if you say, no, can't work with you. But if you want to work with us, then the Profit by Design Academy is where you start. And we would be so excited and thrilled to have you in there. Okay, there's another one. Overnight, last night, she just wanted to mention how soon it was. I blew past my dream goal for April, and there are still 5 days left in the month. And this is this month, right?
Yeah, this is like 2 days ago.
Yeah, this is not last year. Okay. This is the second month in a row that I have met or exceeded my dream goal. And if you're in the Profit by Design Academy, or you read my blog post that talks about the ERSD, which is my goal setting technique, which I tell you and work you through all in the Profit by Design Academy, D is for dream. So it's like you have every possibility of making that particular amount of money this month. If that's the case, what would you dream for, right? That's how we talk to our students about it. Set that dream goal. And guess what? This person has actually met her dream goal twice already in the last 2 months, which are the worst economically for other businesses. And in this business on the Zazzle marketplace, her online e-commerce business is doing well. Okay, and what else does she say? Yes, she calls us business coaches because she's also invested in herself for coaching. And I want to talk to you about that some more afterwards, because maybe you're a self-starter and you're a self-study person, you can handle this all by yourself. But a lot of people, maybe like yourself, you need the coaching. And in this time with the COVID-19, time is of the essence. You don't have 4 or 5 months of the luxury of having that to just kind of figure it out. And even if you're doing self-study, as you can see, some of our students come back over and over and over again. They learn each time. So if you had a coach to also then look at your business, what did we just do today? We looked at several people. We've changed dramatically what it is that they're going to do in their business. And hopefully they will succeed because of those changes, right? We can't guarantee anything, but most of the time for us with our coaching students, they just have by leaps and bounds success changes like this person. Okay, and what else? I'm eternally grateful for the wisdom, tips, encouragement, pep talks, and occasional kicks in the virtual pants. This is why I put this review up. It has like 5 sections to it. One is that she blew past her dream goal. Secondly, and it's been in a time that it's the worst economically elsewhere. Then she is so happy that she took the extra coaching. Then she's also so happy that she gets the occasional kicks in the butt. And that's really important too, because we're not afraid to do that. And I don't say and really very well there, it's not meant to be there. If we give you that, just like we did with some of the coaching today, we're not trying to be rude or mean or say we know any better. We just know that you are desperately waiting for that success to come to you, right? And so we're not going to BS you. We are going to tell you like it is, because we have between us over 25 years experience on Zazzle, and we kind of know our stuff. And if you are trying to get to a goal and we see very obvious things that worked for us when we changed it and made that happen, then we're going to tell you. And so that's the virtual kick in the pants, because we just talk to each other over coaching sessions, which are virtual. Okay, and so she has been with us for 2 years. That's also really important. This is not going to happen in the next couple of months. You're going to get results. You're going to get maybe to the point where you make $1,000 a month, but you're not going to have your entire business make $5K a month consistently, month after month, in the next 3 months. Absolutely not happening. So please don't have that expectation. That's not what we're going to talk to you about. If you want to hire us for private coaching, where we charge $15,000 for 3 weeks of, or 3 weeks, yes, of intensive, we sit down with you, we figure everything out, we make you work, we are all there between 9 to 5 days a week, then that's maybe a possibility. But otherwise, let's be realistic and make sure that you understand that this requires you to take action, and the sooner you do, the better. Okay, so your investment for this particular program, the Profit by Design Academy, is actually at a really low price right now, because we are here to help you through COVID-19. We understand you have a budget that you have to adhere to. You may not be in the best financial situation right now, but you do have time and money to invest in this as another opportunity for you to change your life, right? It changed Jennifer's and I's life way back. Instead of worrying about a paycheck, worrying if we had a job, being upset that we had to be in some cubicle or not being able to travel where we wanted to, those are things that we kind of can't do right now. But what we can do is continue to receive our Zazzle paycheck, which is awesome. And we don't really consider it a paycheck. We consider it as Zazzle paying us for our services to their business. And that makes a huge difference. And it makes us take ownership of our business. And so what about you? Are you going to take ownership of your business? Are you going to invest in your business to make it work so that even if COVID-19 ends in a couple months, which it doesn't seem to be doing, then you can get back to normal, but you'll have a side hobby, hustle, whatever you want to call it, that you can keep developing into a business. And maybe one of these days say, hey, even though you gave me my job back, I've got this other thing going, which didn't lay me off, which didn't stop paying me. And I'm going to go for it because now I've set it up properly and I've scaled it to the point where I actually don't need your income from your business. I can work for my own, like I have my own business. I'm doing really well on my own. And as you can see, many of the things that would normally shut down a business and make it risky are not factors here. And I really want you to understand that. So in terms of the costs, we have made it easy and affordable at $14.97. It should be a way above $2,000. And we also gave you an option to pay for at 6 months. So you pay $283 for 6 months in a row. And even though you pay in installments, you can get access to everything right away. So we're being very generous. If you also want something that might be a little bit of a longer payment plan, please DM us. We do it as a case-by-case basis. We make sure that you are committed and that you will ultimately pay for 12 months, because if you don't and you skip out, then that would not be the kind of client that we want to work with, and we would rather not you even try. And then you can see on here that it says the VIP experience. And that's something that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But I want to tell you about our fast action bonus. I love action takers. Every single one of our challenges has had a fast action bonus with a deadline, which means that you are going to take action. You're going to be showing me already that you're showing up and you're going to take action at the right times so that you can build your business. And as a reward, I'm going to give you a group coaching call. So if you liked what we just did in terms of the critiques, we are going to do that with a small group of people. And we are going to be on the Zoom call separately. It's not going to be live and so other people will hear it. And you don't actually, no one else gets to see that except for the group that's involved. And then you get that recording. It's like getting a business plan in a recording already. And that's what some people who have been part of the fast action bonus are going to experience. And it's going to be awesome. And it's a value of $500, which is awesome as well. It's a really low price for our coaching calls. Okay.
And also we have a lot of students that recently signed up in our previous challenge too. And depending on when you signed up and then what actually fast action bonus you got, because last week we offered a Zazzle store audit. That's different than this coaching call. We're going to be doing that with you. And then this, like the specific time that you signed up, you're going to be in that specific group. So we're breaking it off. And then we're also making sure, that there's a small number of people. So each person who is part of the call gets the time that they are deserved, and that we give you the attention that you need for that fast action bonus.
Right. And so fact number 6 is coaching will grow your business faster. Because we get to address your needs very specifically, we get to really focus in, give us the attention to give to you, and then you are going to receive personalized solutions. You saw how different each one of the people that we showcased and critiqued their store for, they all needed different solutions, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're unique. And so we can only go so far in teaching it in the course as a generalization. So then you would have to make that leap. And actually that was what Elizabeth did. She didn't know, even though she's already done some of the training. We talked to her already a couple of times, but today we gave her very specific coaching advice. And if you would like that kind of thing for your store, then maybe the VIP experience is something that would happen for you. It would be really good for you. We're going to talk about that a little bit more because there's one more testimonial. And I love this because she says, "Hi, Elke and Jen, I just paid my rent. Or Zazzle just paid my rent this month." And I like how she said it because it's like, yep, Zazzle did that for me. And of course, she did it for herself by being part of the Profit by Design Academy, doing the work, working smarter rather than harder, and having things in place. But she always just looked at that as fun money And then she said at one point, I have to make this more work for me because I want to be more independent. And so the fact that she said, Zazzle just paid my rent this month, and that was actually just in April as well, right? Or was it March?
No, it was just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
So that just, because we get to know our students as well. So that meant so much to us because it means that she is where she needs to be now. She worked hard, she got to where she needs to go, and now it's paying off for her. And
it's not just her rent, because I love
No,
how
because
she says, and
a lot more. No, but that was her goal, right?
Yeah.
Her dream goal is to be so self-sufficient that the Zazzle business would pay for her rent. And so she made that, and now she can move on to another goal. And yeah, I love that it's more. Okay, I'm so thankful I started with you ladies at the beginning when I really didn't know what I was doing in Zazzle, that I am in a position now. And again, this was just yesterday or the day before that she sent this, because she's talking about coronavirus and other people that she knows are losing their jobs and not getting their salary. And so she wanted to really focus in on the fact that she's so thankful that now she's got income coming in. And it's because she also needed a lot of hand-holding and coaching to start with so that she could understand what was going on. She's not so great with tech, and she's not so great with understanding like the business concepts, but we help you through all of that. And we make it simple and easy, and we help you with coaching, even if it's just do this next. And we have that option for you in the VIP experience, which includes all the things that we have in the PDA. So you get that the PDA as well, which is short for Profit by Design Academy. And we limit this to 10 spots. And we've already got several that are taken. So please be cautious of that. If you like this and you want to be part of this, with the coaching that's going to happen during the 8 weeks, in addition to what else we do and we're going to talk about in the Profit by Design Academy, then this is something you should talk to us about and see if you're right for this. So I don't want to go into this in too much detail, except this is like a $6,500 value, and that includes the Profit by Design Academy. So you are actually getting like more value. You're getting almost $8,000 in value, and you are getting it for a very low price of $5,555. Or you can do payment plan, which we have a 3-month payment plan for $1,888. So go check out this page, elkeclarke.com/scale. There's a lot more there. Obviously, we're just giving you the details like the pricing and who it's for and so on. And then we want you to check it out, see if it's for you. And then once you've had a look at the site, elkeclarke.com/scale, then give us a call, or call us. I'm old school. I'm still calling people. No, everyone else DMs people, right? And so
I said in the chat, I've already written private message me.
Yeah, private message. So, but yeah, I like the personal experience, because then what happens is we get to find out what your needs are. And not everybody is going to need the VIP experience. And not everybody is going to need the Profit by Design Academy. We have a lot of other opportunities, whether, like I've said, offer and opportunities almost in the same way. Opportunities. Because this is just one thing that we're showcasing right now, because we open this twice a year. We take our students through, we make sure that they get a really good handle on everything that's in the training, so that they don't come back to us later and go, I don't get this, why isn't this not working? And you go to their store or you go to their product suite and you look at their inventory or you see their promotion and you go, you haven't actually put the Profit by Design Academy 5 strategies into place. So I guess that's why. And I feel badly, because they wanted to be as successful as the people that we do have that are successful. And so we are here to help you with this 8-week experience, which starts in May, to do just that, to get you through the course, get you set up. You still need to do the work. You still need to add more things to your store after you do the 8 weeks. This is the launching of you in your business, which is fabulous. And the people who are purchasing the VIP experience are people who have done quite well, but they are stuck, or they need more coaching and more specific help, because they know certain things, right? They're not starting from total scratch, but they are in a position where financially they need to start making money faster. And so the VIP experience is part of that option for you to take, if that's what you are, like if that's what your goal is, because we can't come and do a mastermind at this point. We can only do them virtually, and we're not holding one until June, July. So right now, if you want that help next week, then the VIP experience is something you should definitely check into and check with us. All right, so that's our information about the course, the Profit by Design Academy. It is definitely the signature course that people are using. You saw the testimonials, you saw our success that we talked about. What more can you ask yourself as to what you need as proof? The only thing now what that might be standing in your way is your finances, which we can talk about. You can give us a private message, and also your time that you have as a commitment. Again, we can talk about that in more detail when you private message us, and then we will be able to help you feel comfortable about those things and make a decision. And then come and join us for day 2. Do you want to say that? Because I've been talking forever. I don't stop today. I don't know what it is. First, I couldn't stop coughing.
No, yeah, you're fine now. Okay. All good. Day 2, tomorrow we are going live once again here in the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Facebook group. We'll be going live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be covering titles and tags and what is SEO and why do you need it? Because going on Zazzle, opening up a store and posting your first product for sale is just the beginning. Then doing branding is all about finding, like, having your customer have that confidence in you. But the most important thing, well, not most important, it's equally important. They're all equally important is your SEO, because if your customer can't find you, you're not going to make sales. And so tomorrow we're going to be looking in at titles and tags and seeing if you actually have the right titles and tags for your products. Because if you have an absolutely gorgeous product and you've spent hours and hours and hours making it or figuring it out and brainstorming, if you don't have the right titles and tags and they don't get found, then you're not going to make sales. And all of that time was wasted for that that beautiful product, right? And we want you to increase your sales because you want to make money online with Zazzle. So we're going to be covering that, and then we're going to be doing a live critique, somewhat like we did today, where you will be able to put in the links to one of your products. Yep. One of your products, and we will go in and we will look at what your titles are and your tags and see if they work for that specific product.
So pick a product that is going to be something that you think should be selling. Like, don't just pick out any product and when we look at it, we go, it's because of the design. We want to have examples of where the design is amazing. It should be selling because it's in the right niche. It looks like a customer would want it because it's on the right product. It has a really good use, but for some reason you don't have any sales. Yes. That's the kind of product we want to have. And we cannot guarantee that we'll do all of them because we can't. Yeah. So we will pick several, and then you can learn from the ones that we pick, and you can then apply that to your own if we don't get to yours. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Come into the Profit by Design Academy today so that you get the fast action bonus and you get the entire week to just go through everything to get prepared. Because I feel very strongly that even like though we start next week with dripping the modules and starting from scratch and going, okay, we're going to open up your store and we're going to check out and make sure you've got the right niche and all that stuff and set up your store with categories and so on. That's what we're covering next week in the Profit by Design Academy, not free on the challenge. Then if you've already watched that and you've got some things and you tried some things out, then you have better questions because maybe you're stuck on something, or you don't understand why the category should be set up this way, or how can I do this and make my store better. That's much better than, oh, okay, now I have to do this and I don't have any questions because I haven't done the work. So this is really great for you to get in on the Profit by Design Academy now. Binge watch, and really just, even if you binge watch, not even implement, because I don't want you to do things that are wrong. Because if you like interpreted things differently, or just go and change like every single one of your titles and tags between now and then, that's probably not a good idea. Let us work through them together with you. There's so much to be learned with our live 8-week experience. But in the meantime, you have that edge of knowing that that's the material that's coming up, and your brain starts to think of things like, oh, I'm going to ask that question when I'm, when it's that Facebook Live, or when they're in the chat. We answer questions all week long. We have our team in there answering questions. We're in the Facebook group. We do a little bit of a introduction every Monday to start the week off. We are then sometimes in the group, depending on what it is that we're doing for that week. We are in the group either as a challenge or as a critique. And then we have a Facebook Live where we can answer questions on Friday. So we are doing that for 8 weeks. If you love this, then you will love having that Profit by Design Academy training with you, as well as the interaction and basically getting lots of coaching for free.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. And actually, there were a couple of our students who are joining us, and they said that they loved binge watching the videos and the modules before, and they're super excited, and they've already started to have so many amazing aha moments. It was quite fun. Andrea, actually, the one who we saw the pet store, she was saying that she wished she had taken a screenshot of her store previously to the course than after, because she's implemented so many amazing things and she's seeing results that it would be really cool to have that comparison, but she didn't do that. So, but yeah, just so much amazing feedback. This
so
is
much
awesome.
Transformation is happening, which is awesome. We love that. And Zazzle actually commented on that the other day, like, because we don't work for Zazzle, we're just designers just like you, but we know a lot more, and we have done much better in terms of our earnings, which is why you're listening to us in the first place, right? We're experts. But they came the other day with a message, and that said that they are so happy and thankful for us being and doing what we are doing, because there's lots of designers on Zazzle that are making as much money as we are, but they are not interested in helping and give back to students like we are. And so they're happy that we are teaching and training students to become better, so that their entire website looks better. They attract more customers. We are helping create a bigger and better Zazzle business for everyone involved. And so and you're going to be part of that, because you're going to be better on Zazzle. You're going to sell more. You're going to do all kinds of things to make you're not only on Zazzle, but you realize afterwards that you have a business that you own, and you can go even further. And we actually talk about it in the Profit by Design Academy.
Okay, well, we will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have any friends who want to come and join, send them the link.
And join us.
And also, if you have any questions about the Profit by Design Academy or the VIP experience, then private message us, because we are ramping up. We're getting ready for the 8-week experience, and we want you in.
Closing.
Yeah, and we want you to be able to watch those videos and get a good handle on the material before we start our experience. So have a great rest of the day. Thank you for staying online with us for 2 hours, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Can you tell we love helping people?
You just know you want to go for it. Do you have more stuff to talk about?
No, I'm good, because we want to save some for tomorrow.
Have a great afternoon, evening, and we will see you tomorrow at 2. Bye.